I am here with Jose. He was one of our players from our Wilhelm Train Heist adventure module that we ran two specific playtests with. The first one was first level characters, and the third one, or the second one, was third level characters, which Jose was part of. So after that was pretty cool. After we got through doing that, then we revamped the module and streamlined it as best we could, and we sent it out to our playtesters to ask them, questions on what is your input, what did you like about it, what could we change, what could we make it better, so on and so forth. So Jose actually took that module and ran it with a group of people. And I also the playtest module that I sent over didn't have the train actual map layout that we have on the videos, but so I sat down and added to the train, because you got I think it was about maybe 6 cars total. So added close to almost 50 cars. So I don't know if that's going to be in the adventure module as far as all of them, but there's going to be probably a select few of them. But what the idea I had was take the train cars, and the way I've designed them is that you can put them in any order you want to. And that way, each and everybody that runs this module has their own train, instead of us giving you, this is what it looks like, blah, blah, blah. So maybe in the future, after, the venture module comes out, I may release, or we may, the XP Guild may release the entire train in its entirety. That way you can do either, passenger train, cargo train, a combination of both, whatever you would like. So, like I said, I sent them all over to Jose. So, question is, Jose, first things first, how did it go with this group? I mean, tell the story, man. And how did the module work with it? And what did you like about it? What did you not like about it? And hopefully you can tell us, how did you put the cars together or whatnot? And if you actually have a picture of it, I can probably push the where you can share button. So.
Sadly, I don't have a picture, but I can let you know. Well, one, it was a little bit rough because we had a character playing like a druid, and they were acting like their druid was like a animal person. They were not really educated. They grew in the wilds and stuff. So the way I had started it was they're in this main city that is like a trading hub.
Mm-hmm.
And they were in the bar, they were pretty much looking for work and stuff, and they're drinking. And I had these guys who, it's a Western setting. So I had these guys come in, and they were kind of approach him with a job, but then his character went a little crazy and stuff. So I was like, well, that's great, there goes the people. But then I just ended up making it where there were some people playing cards and drinking and stuff, and they saw what they did. So one of the guys goes up to them and goes, hey, we don't see adventuring types that much in here, so would you guys be interested in a job? And they were. So pretty much their job was this guy worked for this drow overlord, pretty much, because in my settings, the drow, there was a war between humans and other races. Mm-hmm. And during this time, all these eldritch monsters started appearing. So in between the chaos, they left the Underdark and started pillaging and doing all that and taking over areas. So their job is to go in the train and find this artifact, pretty much a chest that is holding something. The artifact is pretty much like an eldritch shadow lord who's been bound in it. So they were trying to figure out how to get into the train. I didn't do the whole, wait until the train leaves and then trying to get to it. What I did was I told them what the train looked like, and I just made it where it was 6 cars.
Okay.
The one in the middle was the one that was armored. It had, the wood and the metal and the windows and stuff like that. So you kind of get the feeling that something important in there.
Yeah.
And what they did pretty much is I told them in like this, I think it was the second cart, there was people loading, like luggage. And there was another cart where there was people, like the waiters loading food and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And then, like in the front car, there was like 2 guards, and in the back, there were 2 guards. So most of the players ended up going through the back, distracting the 2 guards. They caused like a scene and with a child, because one of the persons like this guy as a child. So pretty much they didn't want to deal with that. They're just take your child, get out of here, But one of the guys was playing a Warforged artillerist or something.
Okay.
He just goes like, I'm gonna buy a ticket to get into the train. So I was like, oh, okay, well. So what I did too was I made it so that was more about upscale train. Like the first trains had, rich people, and people were like criminals and stuff like that, and then everybody else was in the back. So he bought his ticket, which he was like, man, this is expensive. But then as he walks in, you pretty much have the first train, and it's like, it was all pretty much like when you go to first class, you got you got all this big rooms where they go into. They already got food and wine and everything in there for them. It's all fancy. Then when it's near the end, they have like 2 big rooms where they will have all the waiters, and they would come to them and stuff. Then the second train I made it where it was like a casino.
Okay.
So you had like the blackjack table, and just tables for them to gamble in, and then you have people serving drinks and all that. It was extremely fancy, like red carpet, chandeliers and stuff. And then when they go to the third one, that's when he had to split and go around the corners, because that's the one that has 2 guards here, 2 in the back, and you can see into which he ends up letting them know that that's where the thing is. So he goes to the 4th cart. That's where his room is, and this is small little like 2 people. Well, not 2 people, but pretty much you can sit 4 people there, but it's small compared to the ones before.
Oh yeah, for certain. Yeah.
The other 2 people are in the last 2 carts, and that's where just the peasants are pretty much. You just got the benches where 4 or 5 people sit at, and they have a bunch of them. So they ended up finding him. He tells them about the thing, and then they're trying to figure out how are we going to get into this cart. So I had them roll, and what happened was that it had I told you before, the drow in my setting. Well, there were some that were coming to rob the train.
Okay.
And pretty much they used that as a chance to go and steal the thing. So pretty much when they go outside, one thing that I did different to the train where they had the artifacts is I put 2 gunners on top of the train.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so there was 2 guys with this like Gatling guns up there.
Sweet.
So in one side you see a drow. Well, you don't see the drow, but you see this elephant, and in the top, you see in Lord of the Rings, how when you had the people in those. Well, drows can use darkness. So I had them use darkness in there. So he uses the elephant and the huge canopy thing, and then darkness. Okay. And then you see like 4 other drow, riding in horses, and they're shooting at the train. So one of the gunners ends up getting taken out. So the Warforged jumps in that gun and helps the other gunner out. Well, the other 2 guys, they pretty much, one of them charms one of the guards to try to get in. The other one wouldn't. And then they put him to sleep and they go in. So while they're inside, I still kept the gnome clerk.
Okay.
And I had 2 guards in there. And then I also had it where the gunners that were up there, since they have to get into the gun, you see half of their body down because it's
Okay.
holding them down. It's kind of like a lift thing to lift them up. Yeah. So I had that, and then I had it where you know how the jail rooms they have the cell.
Mm-hmm.
In the cell is the door to the vault.
Okay.
And I had the 2 armors in there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So pretty much they go in there. They're trying to, the guards automatically point the guns at them and stuff. They're having a fight with the guards, and then they're fighting with the clerk person. And then when she was really wounded, they give her the option to, give me the keys, give me all the stuff, and get out of here, or we'll kill you. Which she dropped her stuff. They looted it.
Okay.
They go into the vault and open it, and then one of the things said it kind of sucked, but I guess it ended up working out. After when the gunner is with the Warforge,
Mm-hmm.
some of the they took out some of the drow, but still some of the drows got into the train.
Mm-hmm.
So what they did is they ended up blowing up the 2 back carts, and then they started rushing to the front. So the guard's like, screw this, and he leaves. So the Warforce goes in there to see what's going on. They open the vault, and then one of the players use detect magic. So he kind of got like an outline of which chest had the magical items.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like thinking here, cool, what they're gonna do and stuff. But one thing that sucked, but I was like, you know what, I kind of have to allow it, is that the Warforge is artificer, so he had a bag of holding because he can make that. So they ended up grabbing the chest that had the magical glow and threw them in there. And then they ended up throwing a few more chests before they decided to jump out. And I also had told them that in the distance, the Warforge has seen cavalry coming from the town because, they heard the explosions and everything.
Oh, yeah. For sure.
So they jump off the train. They have the bag of holding full of like chests and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And as they jump off, the 2 front trains end up blowing up. So pretty much the drow that were in there, they were looking for the same thing they were looking for. So they got rid of all the other cars except for the one. And yeah.
Awesome.
One thing too is I told them as they were leaving the vault that they, the armors that they had seen before were looking at them. So they're like, oh shit. But they ended up just running, like only one person got hit.
Okay.
Yeah.
So they did the not attack or anything. They run away.
Run away and stuff. And then, they jump off the train. They went into the nearest town, and in the nearest town was where they were supposed to meet their, the guy that were doing the job for.
Yeah.
And also, I had them. They started opening the chest, so I told them what the items were. Mm-hmm. And then for the other chest, I had them roll.
Okay.
And then one of the players got the one where they got like a manor. Another person got the one where there was this piece of land. They didn't own it, but they got money out of it.
Yep.
I'm trying to remember what the rest of the stuff is. I'm pretty sure I saved that, so I can tell you.
Don't reveal too much. So
I got to.
We don't
pretty
want to
much
give away everything to our audience that may be watching this. But yeah, so within our adventure module, we have all kinds of subplots and hooks and the like. And some of the stuff that you find as a player are actually, and as a DM, we're actually creating other adventure modules and other one-shots in the future that actually tie into this original module. So imagine like this is the module, Wiltram Train Heist is your base module, and then you're going to have all these little branches that shoot off from this module. So we've kind of geared it where you can run it totally alone, totally separate, or you can put all these future modules that we're in the process we'll be creating, as well as we'll be playtesting and running them on the XP Guild's Twitch channel, and you can check them out edited on our YouTube page. But and then we'll release the module. But yeah, you can combine them all together, or you can do something totally different, like Jose did, and run a Wild West fantasy game. So, which was totally sounds awesome. So here's the question: is how at the very end, and after everything was said and done, how did the party like it?
Well, surprisingly, they liked everything about it, which I kind of try to get into like what did you like, but they were just like, oh, it was all great. So that didn't give me much. But me myself, I like that it had a lot of tools. Like it had one, it had the stats for the guards and everything, and then it tells you if they're higher levels, you can up it by this. It tells you what they have, what you drop, and everything. I definitely love when you send me the cards. I mean, there was so many, but I really like that.
Sorry about that.
Put them all together and make different things. That's where I ended up getting the idea of doing like the first class and the casino and stuff like that. So I really enjoyed that. I love the loot tables. Obviously, they're always good.
We tried to put in quite a few of them. Go ahead.
And I definitely liked that they, all the different NPCs they had. Like one of the reasons I didn't end up doing too much of the NPC stuff was that sadly we ended up running it a little later than we were supposed to. So I kind of rushed it a little, but it would have been nice to being able to do that.
So as far as those watching right now, or not so much right now, but but those watching this video, we have found so far, we've ran it twice, and Jose's ran it once, and he just brought up a very crucial point that it was running late, whatnot. We feel that this adventure module would be better if you ran it as a two-shot module than a one-shot. You can do it though in a one-shot module setting, but it gets a little rough on time. I mean, like I said, 4 hours. We pushed close to 5. I would assume you did the same thing, right, Jose? Close to 5. Yeah. So if you broke it up into 2 4-hour sessions, that would be perfect for this particular module that we've created. So now comes the fun part. What did you not like about it, or what would you change?
Let's see. I don't think I would change anything, but obviously, like I told you before, I think the NPCs need, like some pictures of the NPC, and maybe something saying like, how they are, like, like if you got the little girl who's whimsical, things like that.
Yeah.
Let's see. Obviously, I have mentioned, the layout, but it's a work in progress.
It is. I mean, we're not complete with it, and we're going to be doing the art at the very end.
One thing that I think that it can probably use, because remember I had mentioned loot tables and stuff.
Yes.
I had the players roll dice, and then, for example, whatever, like a D6, and whether 1, 2, or 3, 4, whatever, something will happen. So like one of them, I had them roll something. And then some of the guards were in that room, and they're technically looking for them, but luckily they were behind like a curtain, so they couldn't. But something where either the guards or people who work there, like the chefs or whatever, like a random encounter for them, or for the NPCs. Like I remember when you guys first ran the game for us, there was that little girl that wouldn't lift the character alone, and she was that. So just like some loot table, not loot tables, but just tables to make people do random stuff to put the players in random positions.
Okay.
So so it's not always the same
thing. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. We will definitely look into that for sure.
But I really like it. I mean, one, you got all these trains, they're interchangeable. You can make them. You can, like I said, you ran like a steampunk type game. I ran a Wild West game, and it worked perfectly. So the way I see it, you can pretty much run in any game. Of course, I don't know how that will work in fantasy if there is no trains. But
probably, I mean, if you really wanted to, a wagon train, that kind of idea, something on the
Yeah.
big caravan, of course you'd have to add in your oxen or your horses and the like, but but overall the cars themselves, the way I've designed them is that you have the car, you don't even see the wheels or anything like that, and you have the little connectors on the end, and you just have the train track, and that's it. And it's just the interior, and there's 3 parts to them. There's the, and that's another question I have for you, Jose. So, and the 3 parts are daytime, evening time. Basically, I dim the setting of the program I use called Dungeon Draft, which you can actually check me out every Tuesday at 7 p.m. Central Time at the XP Guild's Twitch channel. I am right now building one of those little tidbits in the module that happened during Jose's game, called Lover's Bridge and Village. I'm actually building that out right now, and doing polls and various things of that nature over on our Facebook page and our Twitter page and the like, on the build. But yeah, you just see the train track and stuff like that. So yeah, you could easily turn it into a wagon train. And like I said, you got evening time, daytime, and the roof, and that's pretty much about it as far as train car. Now, my question to you, Jose, is: did you run it daytime or evening time?
Around the evening time.
Okay, awesome.
So I figured, well, pretty much the thing was like the train was just leaving. Mm-hmm. I would have liked it if it ended up getting, like, I would have made it so it got a little darker. Okay. If they didn't, like if they were waiting too long for an opportunity to get in there. Mm-hmm. Sadly, that didn't happen. Yeah. But like I said, I really enjoyed it. I do think, like, other than that NPC like table to make them do random stuff, probably have like another one for like maybe enemies, maybe somebody, because depending on the settings, maybe somebody wants to go in there and get like some of the artifacts in there.
Yeah.
Or maybe somebody wants just to rob the train and take the train for themselves and retrofit it, or some weird stuff. But I have nothing bad to say about it. That was
thank
really
you.
Good.
Yeah. So did you use any of the weather conditions or anything of that nature?
I did. I had them roll, and it ended up raining at one point. So
Awesome.
The only thing is, since nobody really jumped in the top, it was just a Warforge. It didn't affect them much. So
yeah. So, which is cool all on its own. But yeah. Awesome. Well, I am glad that you enjoyed it. I'm glad your players enjoyed it. And so for everybody watching right now, we're hoping to actually have this adventure module, the Wiltram Train Heist, out to the public, hopefully by March at some point in some time is our goal. It may be the next month after that, but we're shooting for March. And I do believe we're going to, we've looked into several things. I think we're going to do drive-through RPG is our target as far as getting it out to the public. So, well, thank you, Jose, once again for not only playing, but actually for running our new project, our new product. Our first product actually on the XP Guild. And thank y'all for tuning in. This has been a wonderful, just random occurrence. I may do future things like this, and they won't be scheduled or anything like that. It'll just happen. So until we get down to a more uniform way. So yeah, so like I said, come check out me every Tuesday on the XP Guild's Twitch channel live. naturally at 7 p.m. Central Time. And check out Bill's stuff too. He just recently did a video on how to do streaming and layouts and various things of that nature. That is really, really cool. Well, thank you. I am David L. Weaver, and this has been an XP Guild video. Bye.